Hey guys, morning. Happy Monday. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Let me go ahead and set up this room real quick and then we can get started with our session today. So today is Monday, November 22nd. It is Thanksgiving week for here in the US. So the market may be moving a bit irregular due to uh, the low volatility, which generally happens during holiday weeks. Or it can also be the opposite. It can either be low volatility or high volatility, depending if people are, exiting before the actual holiday this Thursday. So let me go and set up the room real quick. Once I'm done setting up the room, we can get started with our analysis of US 30. So let's get this link right here. Okay, cool. People are making their way into the room right now. And give a few more minutes for people to, make their way in, obviously. So I'm just going to get this right here. That's good. All right, cool. Looks like everything is pretty much for the most part good to go. Morning, guys. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Happy Monday. Today's November 2nd, November 22nd. It's Thanksgiving holiday week for us in the US. So as I was mentioning previously, the market is either going to be very slow or it's going to have regular movements where it's going to be very volatile. Reason for that is because during the holiday week, it's usually a toss up, right? People are either out of the market early, like the entire week, or some people get out of the market shortly prior to the holiday, which would be Wednesday because Thanksgiving is on Thursday. So it's going to be hit or miss. You're probably going to see a lot of movement from now and tomorrow with people exiting the market before the holiday. And then on Thursday, obviously, market's probably going to be dead. And then on Wednesday, you're probably going to either see a lot of volatility of people pulling out or no volatility where everyone's already out of the market. So, I mean, it really depends on how the market plays out, who decides to stay in the market. Because, you're going to see a lot of speculators in the market. Like last year was really slow. The year before that, it was kind of busy actually until like Wednesday. And then, we'll see. We won't know until we know. The market's always going to be unpredictable like that, especially during a holiday week like this. But you definitely want to be a bit careful when you guys are taking trades. You kind of want to look at the market to see if it's actually moving before you enter a market. And another key thing is that you want to make sure that price isn't going to be consolidating or ranging, because that's going to indicate that volatility is dying down. You generally want to trade when volatility is up. Because that's going to help you get in and out of trades, whether you be in a bad position or a good position. Because in a lot of situations, if you're in a bad position and the market is still volatile, you can easily pull out of the trade still, right? So that's something that you guys want to keep in mind. So I'll give it a few minutes for people to make their way into the room. It's still a little early, so let people make their way in at 6:17 right now. So we got about 13 minutes till market open. As people make their way into the room, we can start looking for entries here. So definitely. Let's check the CNBC real quick. So I did see quite a bit of news this morning. All right, so let's see. Dow futures rise 150 points after Biden sticks with Powell to lead the Fed, which makes sense. Powell is good for the economy. So that looks good. So it looks pretty bullish right there. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else here. Elon Musk says Tesla Model S Plaid may launch in China in March. Wow. Okay, so that's cool right there. Pay. I think that's it for the most part. Target will keep stores closed on Thanksgiving for good. Yeah, I don't know if any of you guys do Black Friday shopping, but this is somewhat good news. Yeah, it's crazy. Like Black Friday was nuts. If you guys are here in the US, I know you guys have probably seen, or you guys that are not in the US, you guys have probably seen those videos people going crazy during Black Friday. So like it went from Black Friday to like Black Thursday, where stores would open on Thursday at the actual Thanksgiving day. Um, I'm definitely not going to be participating in that this year. I'll be shopping online, or not even shopping at all, actually. Um, I don't know, Black Friday is crazy. Other than that, I don't think there's really much here to look at. Just looking at the fundamentals over here. So basically, the futures across the board are all bullish. The Dow's up 149 points, S&P's up 19 points, Nasdaq's up 76 points, oil's down less than 1 point, not very much, and the 10-year bond is up 1.6%. So everything looks pretty much bullish for the most part. Looking at retail sentiment, currently we have traders that are 53% short, meaning that price is pretty much right down the middle. It's pretty neutral. And it's neutral because this can easily shift from a 53% short to a 53% long, right? So there's really no bias here with regard to retail sentiment. Looks like most of our analysis and bias is going to come from the fundamentals and from the technical analysis with regard to trend. So looking over here on the 1 minute, price is currently above the pivots, trend meter is green, indicating that we have a bullish bias. Looking over here at the 3 minute, same situation, price is above the pivots, the trend meter is green, indicating that we have a bullish bias. Lastly, here on the 10 minute, price is above the pivots and the trend meter is green. So looking at the 10 minute, 3 minute, and 1 minute, everything indicates that we have a bullish bias. And the reason for that is because price is above the pivots and the trend meter is green, indicating that we have a double confirmation that price is bullish right now. So 1 minute, 3 minute, 10 minute bullish. Looking at the 1 hour, it's actually bearish. So as you guys can see, there's a bit of an inconsistency with regard to the shorter time frames and the longer time frames. However, looking at the 1 hour right here, you can see price is attempting to make it shift to the upside. So as it makes a shift to the upside, comes back for retracement, moves back up higher. This is just going to, confirm the bullish move. So, obviously I would stick on the short time frames, but I mean, we'll have to continue and see where price moves. So currently right now, the fundamentals are bullish. However, when the market does open, this doesn't necessarily mean it's going to stay bullish, right? I think it will stay bullish because of the news that was released this morning. But I mean, we'll see, because when you get close to the holiday on Thursday, which is Thanksgiving, a lot of people like to sell off their positions, right? Including myself. Prior, when I used to hold trades longer, when I used to intraday trade, swing trade, trade stocks, stuff like that, I would unload majority of my positions before the holiday, because the thing is, the market is technically closed for basically 2 days, and it goes into the weekend. So you basically go into like a 5-day closure or a 4-day closure. So when that happens, there's a lot of uncertainty in the market, right? You don't know if you're going to come back and the market spikes up, or you come back and the market spikes down. So prior, I would always close out my positions, and a lot of other people have that same thought process, and that's why you see people sell off. You'll see like a sell off towards the end of the week, but who knows, right? That doesn't always happen. Sometimes some good news will come up, and then people will just buy and hold it. Like today, this morning. If you guys are just joining the room this morning, Biden confirmed that Biden picked Jerome Powell to lead the Fed for a second term as the U.S. battles COVID and inflation, which is good for the economy, because Powell you generally say good things about the economy, and you guys have seen the memes that we showed before. So, with that said, people might be buying because they see price at a low, right? Not really at a low, but they see price at a discount, right? With regard to US 30. So if that's the case, then, price might be shifting right back up from here. So definitely, keep that in mind if you guys are wondering, where price will be going. So, I mean, there's a lot of different factors that are going to come into play, but obviously you guys want to make sure that you use, as many confluences as possible when determining what you want to do with your position. If you want to hold it over the weekend, if you want to hold it during the holiday, if you want to trade during the holiday, because everyone's different. Not everyone has the same risk tolerance. Some people are willing to hold trades into risky times. Some people aren't. So other than that, let's see what we got over here. Looks like we're good right here. All right, pull this up. Hey, morning, Kenny. Morning, Matt. Morning, Lisa. Lisa said there was plenty of movement on US 30 today for London session. Yeah, I did notice that too. So, just going back to the London session right here on the 1 minute, basically this is the entire London session right here. You did have some volatility here. So there was a lot of entries, with regards to whatever strategy you guys like to apply. So, like I've been mentioning in the past, guys, there's a lot of times where you'll have entries on multiple strategies. Like for example, right here, this is one that I saw and I kind of wish I took, but I didn't because I was asleep. But so you can see right here, let me just go over here real quick and I'll show you there's a ton of entries that were available right here that you could have taken. So, you have an array of different K2 strategies to apply. If you wanted to apply the K2 momentum strategy, it would be right here, right? You have a sell signal and then the trend meter is red down here, right? So with that said, you can enter a sell entry right here using the K2 momentum strategy. That's one strategy. The second strategy you could have applied was a K2 pivot strategy, right? We have a sell signal here. It closed below the pivots. You can enter that also for a sell, right? There's two strategies right there you could have applied. The other strategy you could have applied was the high-low strategy, right? So right here, you can see that the low has been established. When price broke and closed below this low right here, we had a sell signal right there. You could have entered this for a sell down here as well. So as you guys can see, we have a lot of strategies, but they all tie in together. So even though we're focused on one specific strategy, like lately I've been applying the high-low, there's like various different entries that are available here. It's not just one strategy. So you guys are free to use whatever strategy you guys like. That's why I always remind you guys, find one strategy that you like within K2 and focus on that one because they're going to line up with other strategies. Again, right here, we have a buy signal, trend meter is green, right? So what do you do there? It's a momentum entry. You could have taken that for a buy, right? Again, a buy signal, it closed above the pivots. What is this? This is a pivot scalp entry, right? If you're applying the original pivot strategy, it also works here too. So as you can see, there's like 2, 3, 4 different entries that you could have taken using all the different K2 strategies. So just, keep an open mind, guys. Like you don't need to focus on like what we're applying currently. We're only applying this currently because I'm testing the new strategy right now. However, it still ties in with all the other strategies. So you guys can still apply whatever you like. It just really depends on like what your preference is because all the strategies obviously work. I wouldn't teach you guys something that doesn't work. And it's not necessarily mean that I'm not applying strategies anymore. It's just that I use them as an extra confluence, right? So for example, we have a high-low scalp right here. I would have been inclined to take this trade because there's 2 other entries that were available right here. So if there's 2 other entries that were available right here, and generally we put our stop loss at the previous swing, which would be right here, about 15 pips. And you put this down here. So you can see that this TP is past this entry right here, right? So for example, if I had an entry right here for a pivot for a high-low scalp, I would have taken that entry because you can see that price is likely to keep dropping because the previous entries here from the momentum strategy and the pivot scalp strategy would have lined up. So if this is still running and I see another entry come up here, I would have entered pretty much all 3 of these, right? But some people just don't see that. So you guys just gotta listen to what I recommend to you guys. And if I told you guys that, you can use any strategy, I really mean you guys can use any strategy. It's just depending on your confluences, that will increase your likeliness of winning a trade, right? There's never going to be a guaranteed trade, guys. The more confluences you have, the better the trade. The less confidence you have, the worse the trade. And if you guys don't get that, then you'll get it over time. It's something that you learn, with practice and with execution, not necessarily something that you're going to learn from trading just a few days at a time. So yeah, definitely a lot of entries right there, Lisa. Hopefully you caught some of them. I did see your profits earlier, so I think you did catch some pretty good profits. So like looking over here, I think Lisa, so Lisa's up 1,635 for the day already. So nice work right there, Lisa. And then again, right here, Angela as well, up about 1,000. So great work right there, Angela. Great work, Lisa. Great work, everyone. Eunice here as well. Sent me his profits. He said pre-market profits locked in a total of 387. Great work right there, Eunice. All right, so other than that, market's opening in about 2 minutes. So let's wait for the market to open. Morning, Maria. Morning, Peter. Morning, Fahad. Morning, Lisa. Morning, Delmas. Morning, KT. Morning, everyone. So Fahad said, I know this might not be the time for it, but I just want to thank you, Sean, and everyone here for the support. Passed my FTMO challenge last week and reached verification goal as well. I have 10 days trading minimum target to do so. So again, thanks to everyone, especially Sean, and everything you're doing. Definitely, Vaughn. I'm glad to hear that. So I'm glad to see everyone here succeed, right? That's our main goal here. there's never a bad time or a good time for anyone to bring that up. But no, definitely big congrats to you, Fahad, because I know Fahad's been in K2 for a bit, and his goal was to pass FTMO. So, we're all of us here want to help you guys out, right? That's the main key here, guys. Like, I try to help you guys as much as possible. Obviously it's kind of hard to help you guys out if you don't ask questions or if you guys aren't present. But Fahad here has been trying hard for a while now, and I'm glad to see that you're finally about to be funded. So big congrats to you, Fahad. Congrats to everyone else who got funded last week. Every week we get people here funded, and it's all about consistency. So as long as you guys are consistent with K2, you guys are asking questions when you need to, you guys will reach your goals. It's just a matter of time. All right, so market is opening about 30 seconds, guys. Morning, Al. Morning, everyone. Let's see. So market is opening shortly. We currently have a bullish bias right now with regard to fundamentals. So we'll see what happens when the market officially opens right now in about 20 seconds. However, we would technically be looking for a buy. The first trade that we'll be looking for would be the breakout. If we see something good here, then obviously we can take it. If not, then we will we'll be waiting for the next possible entry. All right, so market is now officially open. So here we go, guys. So market is now open. See what happens here. You can see price starting to swing below. In order for us to take a buy here, we would have to wait for a strong green candle. We already have the buy signal here, so we need a strong green candle to confirm the bullish move, and then that would be an entry for a buy using the K2 breakout strategy. And that entry has to come before 635. If it doesn't come before 635, then there's no entry available. So that is what we are going to be waiting for here. All right, so the market isn't really moving too much. It's kind of slow right now, actually. It's not really much doesn't move down here. Yeah, not a crazy amount. All right, so what we're looking for here is a strong green candle. Strong green candle is going to confirm the entry using this breakout. One thing that you want to confirm as well is that the candle isn't too big. We just want a normal green candle. Normal green candle is little to no wick on the top side. If the candle is too big, then it's going to be a bit risky because generally when a huge candle comes up, it's going to be due for some sort of retracement. So you kind of want to be careful when you see a really huge candle. For the most part, we're looking for a normal size green candle, like one of these, one of these, one of these, even one of these right here. But if you get a huge one like one of these, then this is going to make it a bit risky. So, and you can see right here, like for example, we had a huge green candle right after it pulled back a little bit, and then it shot right back up. So we'll see this candle is closing in about 2 seconds. No entry there. Reason for no entry is because this is not a strong green candle. You can see the huge wick on the top side right here, right? So we got about a few minutes. Let's see, it's 6:30, 6:32 right now. We have about 3 minutes. If the trade doesn't come in the next 3 minutes, then there's not going to be a breakout. We're going to start looking for our other entries here. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start drawing these high-low points so that we can also be looking for other entries here as well. All right. So we got a sell signal that came up right here. I personally wouldn't take this if this was a close. Tech would got to be right. So it's just too strong for me to want to enter because it's probably gonna have to pull back a little bit. Technically, this would be a high-low scalp as well. So this right here would technically be the breakout and a high-low scalp, but I wouldn't take it myself because it's just too, and you can see how it's dropping pretty heavily. So as you guys can see, the strategy does, I mean, it plays out. It's just I wouldn't take it because of the size of the candle. And the reason why you can see the difference here is because you can just measure it, right? So going over here, you can measure this candle with the other candles. This candle is a 400 pip candle. So you compare this to the other candles over here, it pretty much engulfs like all of these other candles down here, right? Like this candle is like half this size of this candle. This is like a quarter of it. It's just a huge candle. So what generally happens when the candle is this big is that it gives it opportunity for it to pull back. And it's not one that I would necessarily want to get into. So I'm just going to draw this up here. I'm not in the position. And you know, I literally tell you guys that I'm not in the position. So it's not that I'm drawing this and then and then entering it, not telling you guys I'm drawing this up. I'm telling you that it's risky, and I'm also not entering it. So like I'm literally trying to give you guys the pros and cons of each trade before it comes up, even though, you know, technically it'd be an entry using one of the strategies. But I give you guys a reason why I wouldn't take it. One reason is that this candle is too big. Second reason is that the fundamentals are currently bullish right now. So if the candles are, if you know, the fundamentals are bullish, I'm not going to trade against fundamentals, right? So there goes another reason for you guys there. And you can see price starting to swing back up. It's pretty much what we were anticipating, why I wouldn't take a trade there to begin with. Because this, you know, this just indicates that price was like somewhat manipulated, because if the fundamentals are completely green, right, they're over 100 points and there's a sell entry here, I'm not going to take that because price is going to swing. It's going to swing all the way back up like it normally does. And you can see right there that it is swinging back up. So that's the reason why I wouldn't have taken that trade. And I'm not trying to like, I don't know, a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people think that I'm like taking trades secretly, but I'm not, because I'm not taking risky trades. Like literally, if there's a risky trade, I'm specifically not taking it, because you see what happened here is exactly what we were anticipating. It swung all the way back up. In this case right here, to 1, 2, 3, 4. This is not going to be a high-low scalp because, yeah, unfortunately, this is not going to be a high-low scalp right here, because this would be the fourth candle. So this high right here was pending 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not going to be a high-low scalp. That either. The next high is going to be right here. All right, so you guys can see the range at this point. What I anticipate from this point is I see price possibly swinging back down. It's probably going to reject and come back down a little bit for a pullback. And there's a reason why, you know, whenever I see big candles like this, guys, I usually avoid it, because it's usually going to pull back a little bit. I mean, it doesn't always pull back, but from what I've seen, it pulls back a little bit before it goes back up. So what I might do here is, or if this closes here, then I would take that for a high-low scalp. But you can see that this entry right here lines up with different strategies. This lines up for the momentum strategy. It also lines up for the pivot scalp. And then now it's going to line up for the high-low scalp if it does close above here. But it has to close above here. You know, keep in mind that it does have to close above here. If it doesn't close above it, then there's no entry. So that's going to be key. And see how price is pulling back? This is exactly what I anticipated, right? So when I see a big candle like this, I don't enter right away because it's going to pull back a bit. Look what's happening here. It's pulling back. And there's no entry there for the high-low scalp. This is why you guys got to be patient, be disciplined. You know, the thing that makes you a great trader is being disciplined and understanding when not to take a trade. I always try to remind you guys that it's always about focusing on winning and not losing. You know, there's a lot of people that it's just funny. Like whenever you get haters like from K2, it's because they're not disciplined, right? They lose trades because they don't wait for the specific entries. They get mad because I give an analysis for both pros and cons. But that's how you guys get good at trading. You guys have to analyze trades from both perspectives. Like you can't just always be set on taking buys, always set on taking sells. You have to be able to be set, but also be able to see the other side of the coin, right? You have to see like what's the worst case scenario here. And that's the reason why I wouldn't have taken this buy here, because I mentioned that price is probably going to pull back, right? And that's exactly what happened here. Price pulled back a bit, and then now price will probably swing back up eventually. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to swing up like right now specifically. So this high has already been broken. It wasn't established as a high-low entry because price broke it and didn't close above it. The next one's going to be right here. So we're going to go and just draw this up there. And you guys can see how wide this range is at this point. Randy said, wow, come on, man, be our mothers and take responsibility when we lose. But when it's us, but it's us when we win. You know, exactly, Randy. like I try to help you guys as much as possible, right? I want to make sure that you guys are understanding like this whole process. The whole process of trading is managing your risk, which also means managing when to avoid losses and knowing when to take trades. Um, trading is never guaranteed. A lot of people like they want a guaranteed move. Like when you guys come on these live sessions, you guys expect me to tell you exactly what to do, right? You want me to tell you to buy here, sell here. But the thing is, the market doesn't move like that. That's why I give you guys this analysis that helps you guys understand when a trade's risky, when a trade isn't. But yeah, you guys got to be careful with these trades here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put up the requirements for the main strategies that we apply. But however, keep in mind that there's other strategies that are also applicable here. It's not just these strategies that I put onto here. It's just these are the ones that we use when we scalp during the live because these are the easiest ones to follow with regard to what we apply here because it moves so fast. Like I can't be going over like 10 strategies at once, right? I know we have like multiple strategies here, but I don't have time to go over every single strategy due to the fact that we're limited on time. These trades move very quickly, and you have to be ready to take them whenever they appear. So I did see one of the members here in K2. I don't know who said it. Madhu. So Madhu mentioned that there's a 10-minute snipe. So what I'll do here is I'll go and draw the zones over here real quick so that you guys can identify. There's a lot of zones in this area. So let me just draw one right here. I'll be rather quick. Let me see if I get these in here really quickly so I can just get back to the charts real quick. I don't want to miss any entries. All right. So yeah, technically there's a buy snipe entry right here, just like Madhu confirmed. There's one off this right here. We have a wick rejection off the structure, wick rejection off the pivot. We have a buy signal right here. So technically, yes, this would be a buy entry right here using the snipe. One thing that I would keep in mind, Madhu, if you're deciding to take this trade, is that it's getting close to the previous New York high, which is right here, which makes it a bit risky. Also, it's close to the Asia high right here as well. So what might happen here is you might see price pull back a bit, bounce off the Asia high, and then come right back up, right? So one thing that I always try to keep in mind is that it's a bit risky when you trade near the previous session high lows, because generally price will just bounce around this area, which could be in your favor or could be against your favor if it pulls back a bit. So for me personally, and this is me giving you guys analysis from both sides, right? I do see that there's a buy entry here. It does look like a good buy entry. However, one risk that I do see here is that it's close to this Asia high and this New York high. The reason why this is risky, even though it's bouncing off, they could likely bounce off this part, is that price generally gets manipulated around these areas, right? These price points, because this is usually like where big algos trade. These previous session highs and lows are very important because generally these are areas where you see a lot of volatility and a lot of liquidity. A lot of people have pending orders around there. Either people are trying to wait for the bounce or people are waiting for it to break through it. So that's why I wouldn't take this trade here. And another reason why I'm giving you guys this analysis here so that you guys understand my thought process. You guys have to have a thought process, right? It doesn't matter what strategy you guys apply. You guys have to have a thought process, and confluence is to confirm your trade. Just because you see a good entry there doesn't mean it's going to be 100%. And what you want to do is base probability, right? If you have a lot of confluences, then your probability is going to be high. Right here, the confluences are very low, and the reason for that is because there's a lot of things here that are affecting direction of price. So as you can see right here, Madhu, this is exactly why I mentioned that I wouldn't have taken the trade, because price was so close to this Asia high. And you can see people are either waiting for it to bounce off it or they're waiting for it to break through it. So it seems like at this point, people are waiting for it to break through it because you see the liquidity push to the bottom as soon as price broke below it. So that's why I wouldn't have taken that trade there. However, you did identify that trade as a snipe entry. So let's go back over here real quick to the daily. I'm gonna go and draw this line here. And you guys got to keep in mind that it's Monday, right? I try to remind people as much as possible. Mondays are risky days to trade. Mondays and Fridays, because those are days when market closes and when market opens. So what happens is you get a flood of entries from the weekend that get filled, and it affects the market, right? There's always going to be something affecting the market. The thing is, you have to be able to gauge it to identify, what's likely to happen and if it's going to be risky or not. So I know some people complain that there's news every day. I know there's news every day, but the thing is, that's why we wait for price to react to the news before entering the trade. We don't necessarily trade when news is happening. We wait for the news to happen, and then we see how the market reacts to the news. So today for Monday, there's actually not that much news today. We have existing home sales at 7, but other than that, that's pretty much it. Biden's going to speak at 10:20, so that's something that you guys want to keep in mind. You know what happens when Biden speaks, the market just gets all haywire. But yeah, other than that, I think that's pretty much it for the most part. And you can see right here for that snipe entry again, Madjui, you see how price is coming back up because price came down, rejected off that Asia low, just like I mentioned earlier. And then it'll probably bounce back up, just like I was mentioning before. So as you can see, this is why analysis is key, right? You guys have to analyze the trade before you enter it. And now price is swinging back up. Even though it's swinging back up, I still wouldn't have entered this trade because I still find it to be a bit risky. You can see price got really close to stop loss, did not trigger the stop loss, and then now it's back in profit. So there is, you know, you guys just got to keep in mind. You guys got to keep an open mind when you guys are analyzing these trades because there's going to be a lot of different possibilities here. All right, other than that, let's see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Okay, the high lows have tightened the range a little bit. All right. So other than that, let me see what else I'm missing over here. Nice. So Maddie caught the reverse on the 1 minute, and you can see right there as it comes back down. Maddie, you're applying it perfectly, right? There's a strategy me and Maddie were working on yesterday. You probably made some profit off this, Maddie. Yep, easy. Yeah, that strategy is crazy, Maddie. So me and Maddie were applying this new strategy yesterday, and it's like 100% win rate. It's crazy how it's been applying. I'm not going to teach you guys it, obviously, not yet, at least. We're definitely going to be testing it a bit more. Yeah, so Maddie must log. I'm missing on all these trades right now, but it's all good. I'll catch the next one. Let me scroll up a little bit and see what else I missed. So Rick said made 652 on a 2-lot, even pulled out early. Nice work, Rick. Professor said, can you give an analysis on the 10-minute daily? So for the 10-minute daily over here, Professor, we don't have an entry available yet because we need the first valid signal after the market open. Market open right here at 6:30. When we have an entry available, then I can analyze it further. However, if we get a sell signal here, I'm probably not going to take it because you can see right here that the fundamentals are very bullish. So if we do get a sell signal here, I will not take it. However, we might get an invalid sell. So what might happen is we might get an invalid sell. It's not going to confirm as a valid entry because you need a valid signal. So you might get an invalid sell signal, and then you'll get a valid buy after, and then you can take that for the trade. But at this specific moment right now, Professor, there's no entry available for the daily. If we have one there, then I'll go over it more in detail because then we'll have an actual entry to analyze. But right now, there's no entry to analyze until it comes up. Other than that, let's see, there's nothing available here right now. There's no high has been established. Yeah, Maddie, it was right. What we talked about yesterday, it actually works really good during New York because the volatility is so high. Yeah, I might take a couple of those entries in the background. So guys, sometimes when I'm testing a strategy, I do take trades in the background. That's one thing that I will confirm for you guys. If I'm testing something that I'm not necessarily teaching you guys yet, I am taking trades in the background because for a lot of these strategies, I don't back test, I forward test. So what happens is I come up with an idea, I see a pattern in the market, and then I start applying it real time. I don't like to back test because when you back test this, the results are always skewed because you're always looking for wins. When I forward test during live market conditions, you can't skew the results because you're taking trades under live conditions. So yeah, Maddie said, yep, full TP. I'll be testing it as well to perfect it. Yeah, so Maddie's like one of the guys here that's one of the local homies here in the area that's helping me, back test these strategies that we both kind of, well, Maddie he came up with it initially because Maddie's been applying the variation to the high-low scalp, and he had a bit of requirements. And then I looked at his requirements, and I was like, oh, this kind of makes sense. I could use this for something else. And then I came up with it, and I taught Maddie it yesterday, and we've been applying it pretty much last night. So if you guys look at the profits from yesterday, it's pretty much the profits that we took yesterday. So I took 2 trades with him. He also took 2 trades, all wins right there. All right, let's see over here real quick. 1, 2, 3. So this would not be a high-low scalp. Reason for it not being a high-low scalp is because price um, just broke the high here without establishing it. This is still the high right here. Technically, this would be a high-low scalp, but like I mentioned, guys, when there's a big candle like this, it's usually going to be due for some sort of pullback. So I'm not going to be taking this just yet. I'm going to wait for it to pull back, and I'll probably put like a buy stop there and then catch it as it swings back higher. Actually, I'm not going to take it because it's at the New York high right here. So this thing right here is crazy. Yeah, it's too close to the New York high. So if you guys remember my confluences, things that I keep away from are session highs and lows, all-time highs and lows, and when price is going against the fundamentals. So right here, even though this would be an entry using the high-low scalp, I wouldn't have taken it specifically because it's at the New York high right here. So let's go back to that 10-minute snipe. So Madu, if you took a 10-minute snipe right here, you're full TP right there. Same with Paul. Paul took this trade too. So you guys took the trade here. We did mark it up. I gave you guys my analysis as it came down. I gave you, the risk, the pros and cons of taking this trade. The people who wanted to take a risky trade took it and they got full TP. The people who didn't want to take it sat it out just like me, and we didn't make profit off it. But I'm glad that some people in the group did catch this snipe here. So congrats to you, Paul, and congrats to Madu as well. Rick said, "Better replace Tommy in your life." Oh man, yeah. No, Tommy's in busy. Tommy's in here too. Actually, I think. Yeah. So Paul said I did it. Cap. So Paul is now funded. Congrats to you, Paul. So there we go. We got 2 funded members in K2 this week. Big congrats to everybody here who's been, working hard and like not complaining. Right. It's easy for people to complain and blame someone or blame a strategy for not succeeding in trading. But if you guys put in the work, you guys can easily succeed at trading. It's just putting in the work. So big work off Paul here. He's now funded. Also to Fahad as well. There we go. So we got 2 people here in K2 that just got funded this week. Yeah, guys. I mean, that's pretty much it. And these are real people in the group. If you guys want to go and message people in the group and see who's funded, like you guys can literally message them yourself and ask them if it's legit. It's not really like, like I always tell you guys, it's not impressive if I show you guys my winnings, because obviously I'm gonna do well. I've been doing this for so long. But if you guys see other people, like other members in K2 succeeding, that's really where it's at, because I'm able to replicate what I'm doing and bring success to all these other people in K2 who are applying the same strategies that we're applying here. But yeah, I mean, whatever. We're still gonna have people hating anyways. I'm probably gonna have people complaining, telling me that strategies don't work, telling me that I don't even use my own strategies. Blows my mind. All right, so Charlie and Maddie said 3-minute buy right here. All right, so looking at this right here, I wouldn't take it just yet, Charlie, because like remember earlier how I was mentioning about how big these candles are, because they got to pull back a little bit. So this is like a 700 pip move, huge move right there. I'm tempted to put a buy stop right there though and catch it as it swings back up. Ah, fuck, I'm too late. I don't know if you caught that, Charlie, but I mean, I'm not going to hop into it late because I'm already too late. But a candle like this is really big. So what I'm anticipating after a candle like this is like some sort of pullback, right? At least some sort of pullback. But I'm not going to hop into like, it's just too big of a candle, because this is what I don't want to do. I don't want to enter this trade and then it pulls back like way down here. And I'm like, damn, I should just wait a little bit, because the stop loss is going to be like somewhere around here. And it might pull back a bit and then it'll just swing right back up. So, if you guys like every Monday, I'm like very careful. So I'm glad to see a lot of you guys here profiting, but I'm very conservative on a Monday, especially because you're going to see a lot of these whipsaws in price, where price will be bouncing back and forth. It's just too risky. And I say risky, like, and I mean it, right? It's not that I'm telling you guys it's risky that I'm taking the trade and I'm like, oh, haha, here's my profits. I'm not in the trade. I'm not making profits off this. So, here you go. It's probably gonna hit TP, but me being conservative here, I'm not taking the trade. And there you go, full TP off that. So yeah, whoever caught it, great work. And Charlie, you should probably just caught it, not even told me about it. Because I know sometimes that like when I tell you guys it's risky, some of you guys do get scared. But Charlie, good. There's a good catch that you caught right there off that. You did anticipate it, and you did catch right there. And I think Maddie caught the swing back right here as well. So looking at the profits over here, let me scroll over here real quick. Let's see. So Noel took the buy right here, kind of right from the bottom. Nice work, Noel. Caught that huge breakout right there. So he applies a breakout on NASDAQ too. As you guys can see, some people apply it on US 30, some people apply it on S&P. Noel here applies it on NASDAQ. So nice work right there, Noel. Rick over here currently at 1,782. Nice work, Rick. Going over here, Brian's currently in profit 1,568. All wins right here. Nice work, Brian. And this is the consistency that I'm telling you about, right? Rick is starting to like really get it. You have to focus on not losing. Right here, Rick has all wins. Brian here has all wins. Lisa here has all wins. She's in profit a total of 2,199. Great work, Lisa. She just passed her phase 1 of FTMO in 2 days. So congrats, Lisa here. She passed her challenge. She's now going on to her verification. She'll probably soon be funded by next week. So great work right there, Lisa. Rick again right here. All wins, right? Profit 3,000 for the day. Great work, Rick. Angela over here as well. Angela currently at 1,134. Nice work, Angela. Paul over here too. So Paul passes FTMO. Check this out. He's now funded. So another funded member here in K2, Paul. He passed it in 11 days. Full profit right there. Pass. He's going to get his funded account very shortly. So great work right there, Paul. Badaddy over here as well. Locked in a total of 285. Nice work, Badaddy. And Ellie over here locked in a total of 3,119. Great work, bro. And you guys are killing it. Everyone here is doing great. As you guys can see, these are all different people. If you guys want to go and see if these people are legit, you can go and message them yourselves. These are all members of K2. Going back over here, see Maddie. So Maddie's in profit a total of 771 off this account. Nice work, Maddie. His other account over here, 920. And then his other 2 accounts right here, he actually the same account, he just took more trades. Caught a couple other trades right here, locking a total of 1,151. You can see his screen's all blue, no losses. Great work, Maddie. And then his other account right here, 1,094, all blue, no losses. So as you guys can see, a lot of people here are killing it. Jay as well. Jay had a couple losses up here. Looks like he was taking some risky trades, but he's in profit a total of 6,241 for the day so far. So he's still bounced back from those losses there, but he's been taking these trades and locking these in. So great work right there, Jay. And yeah, definitely. I'll see you later in a couple hours. Yeah, other than that, let's see. So Owen over here in total of 5,751 for the day. He had one small loss there. It looks like it was an accidental loss. Everything else has been straight wins for him. So great work right there, Owen. And then Paul again right here, a total of 1,899. All wins, no losses for the day. Great work, Paul. All right, guys, so great work. If you guys have more profits to send over, just send them over and I'll add them to the list. Otherwise, let's get back to these charts. Let's see, Ken's asking if the market's gonna be open Thursday or Friday. So for Thursday, the market's gonna be closed because it is Thanksgiving. Friday, the market is gonna be open. However, the volatility is probably gonna be a lot pretty low because a lot of people are taking the whole weekend off from Thanksgiving. So yeah, Thursday and Friday market will technically be closed on Thursday. Friday it will be open, but volatility will probably be very low due to the holiday. So as you guys can see right here, and I'll show you guys again the multiple strategies that could have been applied. Right here is a momentum basically the K2 momentum strategy. So we have a buy signal right here. The trend meter is green. So you line those two up. This would be an entry using the K2 momentum strategy. Also, there's a buy signal right here. It's above the pivots. This would be another entry using the K2 pivot scalp strategy, this strategy right here. Also, this would be another entry using the original pivot scalp strategy if you guys wanted to apply that. So 3 entries right there. And then a third entry right here using the high-low scalp. So price right here broke above. We had a buy signal right there. This is a previous high. You could have taken this for another buy there. And there'd be 3 back-to-back buys in that situation, right? So as you guys can see, there was a bunch of different entries you could have used using any type of K2 strategy. It just depends on which one you guys want to apply. So, you know, the choice is yours, guys. You guys can use whatever strategy you guys want to apply. You don't have to just use the strategies that we're applying here. The entire course has, you know, about 10 strategies you can use. So it's just really up to you guys, whatever you guys want to apply from there. So this right here is now the new high. This is still low. These 2 lows haven't been broken yet. So these lows are going to stay down there. However, this is going to be the new high here. So definitely something that you guys want to be aware of. All right, so I'm looking at this right here, Maddie. I'm not sure if you're looking at this too for the strategy we were working on yesterday. No, I didn't close. Or it's gonna close right here. Nope, didn't close. I was tempted to take that one too, if it was too risky. So let me scroll up real quick. Yeah, no, I was waiting for it too, Maddie. Razo's asking, what's this swing back strategy you're mentioning? Raz, I'm not sure what are you referring to. I didn't mention any swing back strategy. Do you yeah, I'm not sure what you're referring to, Razo. Oh, that's not going to be available to you guys. We're not teaching that to anybody, at least not for a while. We just thought about it yesterday, so I'm not going to explain it to you guys. You know, me and Maddie did talk about it. We did discuss that if we do teach you guys, there's a lot of people here who can't even get the basics of K2. So like if we were to teach you guys this, you'd probably blow your count. So we're not going to teach anybody this strategy anytime soon. It is probably gonna be like a year out before we start teaching this strategy to anybody, because this strategy is very risky. It's the same with the scalp strategy, right? We've been working on the strategy for months now. It's not official yet, but technically we've been applying it live on the live session. But you know, it's not something that's going to be available to you guys anytime soon. It's basically based off the momentum signals here. So there's another high-low scalp that's going to be available right here, guys. Let's see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so this would be a high-low scalp right here. And I hate how these candles are too big. Like this candle is kind of huge right here, and you can see it's kind of risky for us to take something like this. So, I mean, if you guys want to take it, let me see. Let's see. Yeah, this candle's kind of big. It'll pull back a little bit. What I might do here, guys, is I might put a buy stop right here. And then as it swings up, I'm going to catch it as it swings right back up. I haven't entered it yet, though. Let's see. I'm going to try to set up a buy stop right here. Because the candle is big. I'm waiting for it to pull back. And then as it swings back up, I'm going to hop into it. Swings higher. All right. Let's see this right here. All right, so I actually got into it with that buy stop. For this high-low scalp. Let's see, the other question here was from news is released now. Let me check the news real quick. News just mentioned. I'm gonna move this down by 1. Too close here. All right, yeah. So there's news that was just released right now from calendar. I'm gonna refresh this real quick. Existing home sales was positive, so it was previously 6.29. They're forecasting it to be negative, but it was actually positive, so it actually played out nicely there. Other than that, see, Main's asking about the 3-minute daily. Let me pull it up real quick. Market's moving super fast right now. Yeah, so technically right here, this would have been the daily entry. I don't know if anyone caught that, but this would technically have been the daily entry right here. I didn't catch it. I wasn't paying attention to the 3-minute, but yeah, if you did catch that right there, main, that would have been the daily. So full TP off the 1-minute scalp right there. I had to pull out of mine. So full TP off the 1-minute scalp. It was, my spread was too wide, so it didn't close me out. So I pulled out of my position right there. I still made profit off it. It wasn't the full profit that I was expecting, but it's okay. I still made profit off. I just didn't want to risk it because of how the market is moving here. So whoever caught the scalp with me right there, full TP off it. I think I could have probably held on to it, got out at the full price, but it's okay. I didn't want to risk it, especially today on a Monday. So there we go off that. If you guys listen to my analysis, I was mentioning that price pulled back a little bit. What I was going to do is put a buy stop there. As it pushed up, I would have taken the trade and then rode it up to full TP. So full TP off that for whoever caught it with me. I'm glad I hopped into the trade with you guys finally today. It's just, you guys can see how price pulled back, right? You guys got to be very, very on point with your exits here. If price reaches full TP here and it hasn't exited on your MT4, you guys got to pull out of that position because your spread might be a bit wide. I think my spread here on MT4 is a bit wide today. Let's see. It's not super wide. It's like 20 pips. I mean, it's still kind of wide. So 20 pips. So technically, I would have to go like another 2. Well, technically, it still should have hit right there when it pushed up. But all in all, I'm out of the position, made profit off that. Hopefully, you guys, if you guys did take that position with us, you guys did pull out. You guys can't be getting greedy, right? I always have to remind people every day you can get greedy. But you know, it just never works sometimes. Even like, doesn't matter how many times I told you guys not to be greedy. There's always going to be someone that's going to be greedy and that doesn't pull out at TP. And you can see right here, price starting to pull back down. That's why it's very important that you guys pull out. So there we go off that right there. Using the high-low scalp. Nice. I'll go with the props right here. So let's see. Going down a little bit. So nice. Dejan over here locking some profit off it too. He said off the YouTube. So Dejan here is like he's chilling off the YouTube right now, locking a total 1,100. Nice work, Dejan. Yeah, so Dejan, he's you know, it doesn't matter. Like if you guys are here on the Zoom, you guys can still profit off the YouTube too. So like if you're watching from YouTube and you can't you can't afford the live sessions, you guys can still make profit off the YouTube. You're just gonna, it's gonna be a lot more risky because it's delayed 10 to 30 seconds, right? Dejan right here probably got some really good internet connection. This dude he can go off real time. But yeah, no, great work right there by Dejan. He made 1,100 for today, and he's trading off the YouTube. He's not even off on the Zoom right now. CERN over here as well. CERN locked in a total of 1,554 euros. These are euros right here. So he locked in some pretty nice profit over there. So great work right there, CERN. Other than that, Maddie over here too. Right, so Maddie said officially funded on 2 accounts. So we have another funded member here in K2, third funded person today. So we got Maddie over here. He just got funded off this account. He locked in a total of, oh, this is 100K kind of, yeah. So he has 100K funded right here. So nice work right here, Maddie. He caught that buy there, took the buy, got funded. So nice work right here, Maddie. Another funded person in K2 just today. Let's see his profits for today. He locked in a total of 1,389 over the day, all wins, no losses. And then off his funded account on MFF, he locked in a total of 1,683. He said, caught that buy, my MFF MT4 lagging like an MF. Yeah, no, exactly. So great work right there, Maddie. So we got 3 funded members in K2 just today. Great work, guys. Congrats to everybody. Eunice here again. Eunice made 461 for the day, all wins, no losses. Great work, Eunice. Other than that, see over here. David over here, he locked in a total of, so he had a couple losses right here. Let's see. He said he took a hit of 2 losses last night, wrong mindset, but he came right back, right? So you can see right here from David, right? If you guys are trading by yourself and you're not in the right mindset, this will happen, which is okay. But the thing is, David bounced back. He came onto the live session right here, took the buys, and he bounced back. He was heavily in the negative, but now he's only negative 178, which is perfect because he just needs one more trade to bounce right back into profit. So, you know, great work, everybody. Rick over here too. Rick in profit, a total of 3,797. So great work right there, Rick. And these are all different people. If you guys are here in the premium, go ahead and message these people and see, you know, how well they're doing. So Sean here as well. Sean locked in a total of 298, about 300. Pretty much all wins here except for this one loss here off NASDAQ. Looks like a small loss, so I'm not sure if that was like an accidental trade or not, or you just might have pulled out a little too early. You know, things happen, but definitely great work right there, Sean. Still in profit, about 300 for the day. Other than that, all right, Zach, just got you in right now, so you're good on the Zoom. Other than that, Rick said, no, do not message me. I still suck. But yeah, no, so, you know, we're all here to help each other out, guys. Like, the thing is, like with K2, we're here to make sure that everyone's successful, everyone's like on the same page. Professor here as well took one trade, made about 1,000 off that, profit a total of 980 for the day. Great work, Professor. Yeah, so you guys are killing it, man. You guys are all killing it. Everyone's doing great today. I'm glad to see everyone here doing so well in K2. And, you know, this is just the beginning, guys. It's just the beginning for a lot of you guys. Other than that, let me scroll up real quick. Main said, I can see the in testing 3-minute daily strategy. Again, the written one. Yeah, no, exactly. So the 3-minute over here, we're still testing this. This isn't even a strategy that I created. So this is a strategy that was created by one of the K2 members. He started to see a pattern in the market where he was applying the daily entry off the 3-minute. It's been hitting pretty much every single time. So this 3-minute right here would have hit full TP. So if you caught that main, great work. I did take it myself. I didn't even see it. But if you did take that trade, that's using this strategy right here, the K2 3-minute daily US 30 strategy. Now, basically, you look for the first valid signal after 6:30, which is right here, and you can see that it hit full TP right there. So great work to whoever caught it. I didn't catch it, but Main hopefully made some profit off that because you're the one that mentioned it. Other than that, guys, let's see what we got here. I'm gonna move this high up here, and then we have 2 new lows right here. So market's doing great. I mean, glad to see everyone here profiting, people passing FTMOs. You know, that's the whole goal here, guys, to see all you guys succeed together. All right, other than that, Patrick said, but Michael Douglas said greed is good, right? It is in some instances, Patrick. Definitely, definitely. All right, so other than that, let me see. I think that's it for right now. All right, Jonathan over here. Nice, Jonathan over here. He said, close out at 234, but due to market moving so fast, price closed at 100 less. MT4 lag. No, I agree, Jonathan. Jonathan over here locked in a total of 135 for the day. Nice work, Jonathan. You know, profit's profit, guys. You know, your main goal here is to avoid losses. That's the real key here. The real key in long-term trading is to not lose. If you ask anybody, like any of the, I mean, if you guys have read any other books, any of the trading books, like a lot of the old traders, what they always mention is the main rule of trading is to not lose. The second rule of trading is to not lose, to go back to rule 1, because that's key, right? If you guys don't lose, you're managing risk properly because your profits just keep adding up and they just keep compounding from there. You know, you guys have seen my trades here. I'll post my profits as well. Let me take a screenshot of what I took off that that scalp earlier. So I'm in profit a total of 992 for the day off this account. Probably could have held it to full TP, but it's okay. I wasn't looking to really risk it as much. Wow, it's weird. All right. So actually, so weird. Off my copier, it actually gave me a loss, but on my my main account, it gave me a win. That's so weird. I think it was because of the slippage. It was the volatility was just too high. I just checked it right now. It's so weird, but here we go. And it's kind of what happened with Jonathan here. So Jonathan said that he closed out at 234, but then it actually closed him out at 135. Yeah, Maddie said his copier was tripping too. Yeah, it's because the volatility is just too high. So locked in some nice profit off that K2 US 30. So let's see. All right, so looks good right there. See, Fahad just posted his right here. So Noel over here, currently up 130 for the day. Nice work, Noel. Looks like he has a couple losses right there, but he made it right back with those wins right there. That breakout off NASDAQ, huge win right there compared to your other trades. And then your other one right here off US 30, big win right there too. So nice work over there, Noel. Let's see. Fahad over here just passed his FTMO. Great work, Fahad. Nice. So yeah, here's Fahad passed his FTMO right here, and then again right here off his other one. So big congrats to you, Fahad. I know you've been in the group for like a cool minute and finally funded. So huge, huge congrats to you. Wilson over here as well. Wilson locked in a total of 4,849. Great work, Wilson. Getting a little, yeah, a little dinosaur with money in the great work, guys. So other than that, We'll see what else we can find here. Technically, this would be a high-low scalp if it closes below here. I don't think I would take it though, because the fundamentals are still very strong for a bullish confirmation. Like right here, I would take a trade there because it's so bullish. But we'll see. I mean, if it closes right here, I'll draw the parameters here, but I'm not going to take it. Main reason why I wouldn't take it is because of the fundamentals are so strong for a buy. So I'm not really looking for any sells right now. It's 276 points in the green. That's way too heavy for me. But this will probably hit, and if it hits, that's great. It's just not one that I would want to risk taking, especially not during these conditions right now. It's kind of too choppy, and not choppy as in like back and forth. Choppy as in like price will just whipsaw, right? Because obviously price is moving directional. However, with the fundamentals so strong for the bullish side, I wouldn't want to take anything opposite of a buy, because it can easily just shift right back up. So you can see right there as it swings back up. That's not something that I really would want to mess with, especially right now. So, all right, let's see if there's anything else right here. I'm not going to keep that up because I don't want people to think that that's a good trade, because sometimes you'll have people hop onto the live sessions like late, and then they'll see that there's a markup right there, and they'll think that there's an entry that I'm actually in, but I'm not in that position. So you guys heard my analysis. The reason why I wouldn't take it is because the fundamentals are so high, but you can see price is probably going to come back down, which is cool. Just not something that I would necessarily want to, mess with. Here, let's see. So David's question is, Sean, what's the R&R we used for the high-low? I was using 1-in-1, but changed to 2-in-1. Profit 200, less than original stop loss. I did get it to trade more room, but I don't think it's necessary. So for the high-low scale, we don't have a specific risk toward that we use, like that's like really set in place. I actually use a negative risk toward. So I use a well, I went from like 1 to 3 to like 1 to 2. And then like you mentioned, a 1-on-1, where we're trying to get it to 1-to-1, but it's kind of hard during New York session because the volatility is so high. So the problem is, if you use a 1-on-1, what could happen is, like, say for example, like for example right here, we'll just use this as an example. I know it's not an entry, but we'll use this as an example. So for example, if you're using a 1-to-1 here and you're using 100 pips, so you can see that price would have hit your stop loss before it would have hit your TP. That's why I use a negative risk reward, because I'm just using this as a safety net. Like I don't plan on losing this trade here, like any of these trades. That's why I'm able to use it. But we haven't had it set in place yet. Like for example, if you use the 1 to 2, you still would have gone stopped out right here, right? You would have gone stopped out before it would have hit your TP. But if you use the original 1 to 3, it would have pulled back a bit, but then it would have hit your TP eventually. So it's a bit tricky during New York session because the volatility is so high. So it's kind of hard to really figure out what's the sweet spot. That's why I'm testing it. We're pretty much testing it around the clock every day, especially during the live sessions, because we want to test it during live conditions so that we understand how price is likely to move. I mean, if it's the case where we want to use a 1-to-1, we might just need to go for a bigger target, right? Maybe move to a higher time frame, like a 3-minute or even a 10-minute in some instances. Like for the 10-minute, we have 1-to-1 here because it's a bigger move, right? 10-minute candles are a bigger move. Same with the 3-minute. We have a bigger, it's a 1 to 2 here because it's a bigger move as well. The problem with the 1-on-1 is that there's a lot of noise on these candles. So we can't really set it up the same way that we would on the higher time frame. So what I would recommend, David, is use what works for you. Use what works for you. You can test it just as much as we do. And then if you find stuff that's good, let us know what works. And if it's been working for you, then we can probably implement that into our R&R as well. But currently right now, we don't have a specific R&R that we're specifically using. I'm still using a 1 to 3 just because of the high volatility. When the market's slower, I'll use it to like maybe a 1 to 2. But currently right now, I'm still using the 1 to 3 at the moment. So if that doesn't work for you, don't use it, because we don't want to force anything on you guys, especially if your trade psychology doesn't accept it. Use whatever you're comfortable with at the moment. Once we have a good sample, then we'll start using a specific one. But that's in 1 minute. Yeah, I'm looking at the 1 minute right now. Yeah, no, definitely. David said it sounds good. I had the same rationale. I'll run some numbers and it's good. Thanks. No, thanks to you, Dave, for bringing that up. Because I know a lot of people want the specific, R to R and R, but we don't have a specific one yet. We'll have one eventually. It's just not ready at this moment. So yeah, thanks, David. My dad said there's a pending entry here off the 1 minute, which yeah, we're waiting for right now. Draw some zones right here. So what I'm doing, guys, I don't know if you guys like this or not. You guys can let me know if you don't like it. I like last week I mentioned this to you guys. A lot of people actually liked it. So what I'm doing now is I'm just drawing the highs and lows that haven't been broken yet. So for example, we have lows right here that haven't been broken yet, that haven't been invalidated. Whenever they get validated, then I take them off or I move them closer. But currently right here, you can see that prices went from a big range, right, from this area right here, and then out to tighter range right here. So right here would technically be, I don't know, dad's looking for a buy here. If the buy signal closes, that'd be an entry using the pivot high-low scalp or the pivot scalp here. And then if price ends up closing above here, then that would be a high scalp entry as well. But you can see that price is currently ranging right now. So even if we got a buy signal right here, Baded, I wouldn't take it for using the pivot scalp because it's currently in a range. I would want it to break outside of it in order for me to take it so that I can catch it as it swings higher. So say, for example, break up here, then I catch it as it goes higher from that point. Right now, price is just going back and forth within this area. If we get a sell, I'm not going to take the sell. If we get a buy, then yeah, I'll take the buy. Other than that, let's see if there's anything else here. Nothing else here on my end. Yeah, no problem, Ed. It's just about, using your tools to your advantage. Like for right here, we see that price is in a range. So I would be waiting for it to break outside of it before I hop in. It's 7:20 right now. So if you guys have more questions, go ahead and drop your questions in the chat. That's crazy. We were like going on like back to back. I didn't realize it was 7:20 already. I thought it was still like 6. But we've been we've been busy looking at these trades here, looking at our entries, looking at pretty much all of the opportunities that are available. Nice work. So Maria said another successful day. In a few weeks, I'll trade in a bigger account. Great work, Maria. So Maria here, she made a total of $32. All wins, no losses. So this is key right here, right? Consistency. So great work right there, Maria. Glad to see that you're killing it. Yeah, no, definitely. Fods, thanks, man. It's grateful to be an awesome group like K2. It's got to remember to keep the momentum going and remember not to get too greedy. Exactly, Fahad. It's got to keep it going. Keep doing what you were doing to get funded, and you should be fine. It's just about consistency, doing what you've been doing this whole time. So as you can see, prices now ranging within this area. Not really any entries for us to take at this moment. Yeah, price kind of died down a bit. You can see how price kind of slowed down. You can see it was moving pretty fast over here from 6:30 to now, actually. Now price is kind of just dead. What I'm going to do here on this 1 minute is I'm going to put down the times. So market opened right here at 6:30. We're going to get off by 8. 8 to 9. 9 to 10. 10 to 12. Marking these times up. All right. Looks solid. And you can see right here, price is still ranging sideways. So not really much going on right here off the 1 minute. We're pretty much just waiting for price to break outside of this range, which should be considered a high-low. All right, so we have a buy signal right here, Baded. I know you're looking for a buy here, but like I mentioned before, guys, I'm not really looking to enter a buy yet until it closes outside of here. So it's just a matter of waiting for it to close outside of it. Main said in the 10-minute daily passed already as well. Let me check real quick. Let's go to the 10-minute real quick. It hasn't yet, Main. So market open right here at 6:30. There hasn't been a signal yet. So the signal's got to come in between this area. If it doesn't come between this area, then we usually just skip it. But nothing here off the 10-minute just yet. Next question for Henry. Henry said for the high-low strategy, the preloaded indicators on TradingView have a momentum bar, or do we have to add it? Henry, sorry, I'm not sure. Your question said preloaded indicators. I'm not sure which momentum bar you're referring to. Henry, this is the momentum indicator. This is the K2 momentum indicator. So this isn't built into TradingView. Uh, are you talking, because I'm not sure, these are different indicators right here, Henry. So if you're talking about the pivots high low, this is the one with these numbers right here. This isn't the high low indicator. That's for these numbers. This is the built-in one that gives you the lows and highs right here. This right here is a K2 high low indicator. So these are two different indicators, Henry. I'm not sure if you're confused between the built-in one, which is this one above here. But the momentum indicators are a K2 indicator. So if I turn all these off, everything on the chart right here are all K2 indicators. None of these are built into the TradingView. Trend meter. So I'm trying to understand your question. Sorry, Henry. So could you rephrase your question so I can, because I'm like super confused with what you're asking for. Are you asking like what indicators are required for this strategy, or are you asking like what indicators down here? Because this is the trend meter down here. I'm not sure what your question is. Can you just rephrase the question? Just like, okay, so Henry said on my K2 trend meter is not matching my color on TradingView. What settings do you have on there, Henry? Sorry, your question is like going like all over the place. Like your first question was about the pivots high low, then now it's the trend meter. So are you referring to the trend meter over here? If you're referring to the trend meter, if you're scalping, your settings here should be same as chart. If you have it set to the default settings, it's going to be an intraday setting. So this is probably what yours looks like if you have it at default settings, but you're not trading intraday on the 1 minute, right? If you're trading on the 1 minute, you're specifically trading for some scalps. So if you're scalping, you want to change the same as chart. And I also want to make sure that I answered your other question too, because your other question was about the high-low strategy. So if I didn't answer that, just rephrase your question, then I can answer that for you. But for your trend meter question over here, it would have to be same as chart. This is probably the settings that you would draw off that for here. Yeah. If you have another question, Henry, just let me know. I want to make sure that I answer all of your questions. And anyone's questions here, right? I'm here to help you guys out. So if you guys are still confused about something, just let me know and I will clear it up for you. But I'm not sure what your first question was earlier, Henry. I can answer for you, just rephrase the question and I can help you with that. Going back to the charts here, guys, it's still currently ranging. You can see it's ranging within these two highs and these lows right here. This low, however, is no longer the low. So the low right here was touched, it was invalidated. Now the low has been moved to here, but thing is price is now breaking below here again. So this is now going to be the new low there as long as it becomes established. Another question here from Roger. Roger's asking, do you draw trend lines anymore? I was watching the K2 training videos and the other day it seems like the breaking crossing of trend lines can be another issue confluence. If you look at the 1 hour today, looks like price is having a hard time breaking the down trend line. Do you give this any weight? So I personally don't use it anymore, Roger, but it does still does work. You can use as many tools as possible. Like if you watch any of my older videos in K2, I used to use the trend lines before I created the K2 pivots indicator. So the thing is, the thing I like about the K2 pivots indicator is that it's dynamic, right? It moves with price. So I mean, you could technically still use the trend meter. I mean, the trend lines, like for example, if you wanted to use trend lines here, I would probably use a parallel channel like you were just mentioning, because you can draw something like this. And then this could help you identify when price is trending or not, right? You can see it's it's not even clear, but you can use it like you were mentioning the 1 hour over here. So if you wanted to draw trend lines, you can. It's usable. I personally don't give it any weight. but if you wanted to, you could still use it. Like for example, right here, right? If you wanted to do something like that, you can use it if you want. If it works for you, use it. For me personally, I don't really feel the need for it anymore because I have so many other confluences here already. But if you want more confluences, you can definitely use as many confluences as you want. There's no problem with using whatever works for you, right? If this gives you confidence, then perfect, then use it. It's perfect. If it doesn't, like for me, it doesn't really give you confidence anymore because I use these other tools, so I don't necessarily need it myself. But the way that I trade is completely different how you trade. So if you like using it, then I do recommend you do use it. However, if you don't like using it or it's becomes a hassle, then no need for it. Yeah, Roger said got it. Thanks. Definitely don't want more. I just want to focus on the top, more important ones. Yeah, no, exactly, Roger. But I've seen other people who still use it till this day. I mean, trend lines they're never going to go away, right? The only problem with trend lines is that they're not always going to be accurate, especially if you're trading on the shorter time frames. Like you said, the 1 hour, it works nice because there's a lot smoother. But on the 1 minute, these trend lines are changing like clockwork, right? Like you literally, like for example, here, if you were to draw a trend line here, the trend line would have already been broken right here. And then what happens is it just becomes another setup right there, right? So I personally don't like using it on the 1 minute, but if it works for you, then definitely it'd be great. All right, other than that, let's see. This right here would technically be another entry using the high-low scalp, but like I mentioned earlier, guys, I'm not looking for any sells right now. Reason for that is because the fundamentals are very strong for a buy right now. Looking over at retail sentiment, currently 56% short, so it's not necessarily something that I would necessarily be looking for. Also, this low right here was broken, so it was invalidated by this candle. It failed to close below it, so this is no longer the low. This is now going to be the pending low down here as price continues to move in this direction. All right, so it's 7:30 right now, guys. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to drop your questions in the chat. I'll also be online and looking for trades, but we're nearing the end of the session. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop your questions. So I asked people around for the good date and time for our mentoring session, and it looks like it's going to be Wednesday. So I'll put a poll in the group to see if people can make it for Wednesday. If not, it's cool. It will be recorded, and then we'll probably have another one next week. Sorry guys, I was trying to make it accessible to majority of people, and it seems like a lot of people are free on Wednesday since it's right before the holidays, and that's why it's something that I wouldn't necessarily set up as the specific time for us to hold it. But if it doesn't work for you guys, it's okay. It will be recorded, and we'll set another one up next week. Just want to make sure that majority of people can attend. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else here. So I know there's a buy signal right there that would technically be an entry for a pivot scalp. However, it's the same analysis from earlier that we were looking at. So what I was looking for is for price to break above here. So even though we get a buy signal, I'm probably not going to take it, even though it's a pivot scalp, and it's probably going to work. It'll probably hit, but me being conservative, I definitely want price to close above this point before I take any trades, because I still see price in a range right here. This is still considered a range to me. So technically this would be a pivot scalp, but I'm going to be waiting for it to push a little higher. So yeah, I'm going to be waiting a little bit longer, guys. I'm not going to enter just yet. That would have been a good trade though, besides about hit TP. Maybe I'll enter. No, I'm not going to risk it. So this is what I'm going to do. If it pulls back, then and it doesn't hit TP yet, then maybe I'll enter it for a late entry. So you can see how your price is pulling back. I want it to pull back quite a bit though, like down to here. And then what I'll do is I'll enter a buy stop there. And then I'll just catch it as it swings right back up. So let's see what's the price for that. 7. Yeah, see, you can see price coming right back down. This is exactly why I wouldn't have entered this buy here. So, but Dad, I don't know if you're still watching, but this is exactly what I was waiting for. I was waiting for it to close above here because I knew that this was probably going to come back down because price is just ranging within this area. So not necessarily a trade that I want to hop into just yet. So I'm gonna wait. I'm not even gonna bother entering it. It's probably gonna swing back up, but it's okay. I'm not gonna enter it. See this right here. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Maddie, I was watching for that too. And that's exactly why I didn't want to take the trade. So the new strategy that I was working on with Maddie, this is going to be very beneficial to everyone here because if you use that strategy, it's gonna tell you when not, well, not really tell you, but it's going to give you a hint when not to take a trade because it's basically a reversal strategy. We base the strategy off all of the momentum signals, like something like this right here. So we base it off the momentum signals. So right here, I'm looking for, right, Maddie? I'm probably gonna hop into that one. Um, so basically the strategy that me and Maddie were looking at, that strategy helps us identify when these signals are gonna indicate a reversal to happen right after. Uh, so like for example here, I already knew that a reversal is probably gonna happen. That's why I didn't take the trade there. It's gonna be hard for me to explain. Only me and Maddie kind of know the logic behind it because I explained it to Maddie. But we can kind of tell, like for example, right here, I'm probably gonna anticipate this to, if it closes with the sell signal, I'm anticipating it to swing right back up. It's got to close with the sell signal though. So I'm anticipating it to continue pushing back, to bounce back up at some point. It might not bounce up right now, but at some point we do anticipate it to swing back up. So I'm not sure if you saw that right there, Maddie. But we'll see how it plays. Let's see. Oops, what did I do here? I rolled it up a little bit. So I'll probably bounce off this low and then swing back up. But yeah, we'll see how it plays from here. So let me just move this over here because we're not in a position. So we do anticipate this to swing right back up from where it currently was. Check my charts over here. Yeah, no smart moves, but that's it. I waited, didn't enter it as well. It's a good decision. It's just like key to just wait. Well, let's see what happens next. You go to the 3-minute. The problem with the 1 minute here is that you get a lot of noise. See, nothing over here off the 3-minute right now. Check the 1 minute. And you can see right there that price is starting to swing back to the upside. And this is going to be helpful to avoid losses, right? My main key here, guys, like pretty much everything that we already have, like our baseline strategies that we use when we enter trades. The thing that we're really focused on at this point is really just focusing on how to not lose, like how to avoid bad trades, right? And this strategy here helps with that because it helps you identify where price is going to swing back up. And you can see that price is starting to swing back up right here now because this sell signal right here, we anticipated it to swing back to the upside. Same with this one. We anticipated this to swing down just like the others. Let me see how far did it push up from here. See, it's got pretty close to it, Maddie. I'm gonna have to move my stop loss a little closer. I mean, not my stop loss, my TP. No, let's leave it as is. Yeah, I'm just watching price. So I got another screen right here, guys. If I ever turn to my side, if you guys see me looking at my side, that's where my MT4 is at. I just got MT4 on the top screen. I got the chat here on the bottom screen. And then I got my main screen right here, straight direct center. Just trying to see where this thing's going. So this would not be a variation entry. So Sam's asking if this would be a variation entry. It wouldn't. So in order for it to be a variation entry, it'd have to bounce off the high or the low with the following candle. So for example, here, this wouldn't be, and it also would need to be a wick rejection. So you need a wick rejection off this low here, and there wasn't a wick rejection off this. I know there was 2 wick rejections right here, but it would have to follow right after it. So right here we had a low. In order for it to be a variation, we would need a wick rejection off the following candle. So Let me see if I can find one here. Kind of like this right here, right? So this is a high, wick rejection off there. Just be a quick little sell right here for 100 pips. So this would be an example right here, Sam. A high was established, a wick rejection off the second one. You can see how those two line up right there. And then you would take that for a quick little sell. Right over there for about 100 pips with like little to no drawdown. That would be a variation. It would literally have to follow it right after. Yeah, and it also has to be a wick rejection as well. It can't just be a full-on candle. Like for example, again right here, right? We have a low established, wick rejection right after it. Basically a double bottom. You take that for long. And then go for like, 10 pips or whatever. And there you go. But yeah, it would just have to be a double rejection off the other. So let me go over here real quick. So going back to here, you can see price is kind of just going sideways, but it's trying to swing back up to the upside, right? It's not really moving very much. I mean, price kind of died down a bit. So volatility is very low at this point. It's just it's just a matter of waiting. Yeah, no, exactly. So glad I could help you with that, Sam. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to drop your questions in the chat. Otherwise, it looks like we'll be wrapping up the session soon. Volatility is pretty much dead at this point. You can see it's not even moving at all. It's pretty much just flat overall. So there really isn't much for us to look at or for us to necessarily trade at this point. So yeah, if you guys have questions, I can answer whatever questions you guys have. Otherwise, I'll be on for like the next couple of minutes. If you don't get any questions, then we'll probably just be calling it a day. And then we'll be picking it back up tomorrow because the market is just kind of still kind of slow at this point. Check this out, Maddie. All right, cool. All right, let's see. Let's see. Question from Henry over here. Henry said, "Would you take that scalp at the low?" Which scalp are you referring to, Henry? I don't see a scalp here. Let's see. Because you're asking if I would take the scalp here at the low. I wouldn't take this one right here because there's no entry. So if there's an entry that you see, Henry, you can let me know. But I don't see any entries that are available here at all. There's no pivot scalp entry because price would need to be above or below. I don't see an entry off this. This would not be a high-low scalp because this. So for example, the lows right here, right, or the lows right here, and this low is actually invalidated because these candles right here touched it. So there would be no entry right here. This would be the new low. From there. Yeah, no problem, Henry. Yeah, so there would be no entry. I think, yeah, so you probably thought this was an entry here because you saw that this candle here broke below. However, these candles right here touched it, so it invalidated the fifth requirement over here for the high-low scalp. Basically, you want to confirm that price has not touched the previous swing before it broke and closed. So with price right here touching it, this would invalidate the last requirement. So this unfortunately would not be the low, and this would now be the pending low right here. So there wouldn't be an entry at that point. And you would have to just wait for it to establish this as a low and then for it to close below there. Other than that, see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Yeah, Andy. Yeah, I think you're in here right now. Sorry, I'm just looking at the chat right now. I'm getting a bunch of messages over here. So guys, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to drop your questions in the chat. Otherwise, right now, market is pretty dead. So I don't really recommend anyone take any trades at this time. You don't want to trade the markets just going sideways, right? That's why like one of the main requirements here is to confirm that price is not ranging or consolidating. Right now, price is just consolidating, right? I'll go ahead and draw another line over here. So we got, see, I'm gonna cut this right here. Sorry guys, let me draw a line there. Yeah, Maddie, I saw your message. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm actually gonna move it right now. Let's see. Yeah, I'll put it like slightly above Maddie. Yeah. So I adjusted my Maddie. Because the thing is, if this one over here comes up, you already know it's gonna be opposite. All right, guys. So let's see if there's anything else right here. All right. So let's just check the charts real quick before I get offline. So there's nothing here off the 1 minute. Price is pretty much just going sideways, nothing really available. Looking over here at the 3 minute, there's nothing available here as well. We had 3 minute daily, which is right here. That'd be a full TP. Also, this strategy right here would qualify with 3 minute pivot scalp. So we had a buy signal right here. It closed above the pivot. So that'd be an entry for both of the strategies, straight to full TP right there. Going over here to the 10 minute, there's nothing that's available right now currently. Let's see if there's any other zones that are in this area. Doesn't look like it. I'll draw a zone right there. There's no rejections off the zone. So there's no entry here off a snipe. Lastly, looking over here at the 10-minute daily, there's nothing here either. So technically there's an hour, like a little over an hour to go until we have a signal. If we get a signal, then it would technically be the daily entry. However, if it doesn't come up before 9, then there's not going to be an entry available there. So, and it looks like it's right here. So it's currently pending, but it has about 3 minutes left until it hits. So currently right now, nothing available. Other than that, there just isn't anything here. So if you guys do have questions, let's see, another question over here. Jennifer. Jennifer said the daily is on any chart. Sorry, Jennifer, I'm not sure what your question is. The daily is on any chart. The 3 minute, this is a pending strategy. This is one that we're just working on. It's not necessarily one that's official yet. That's why it says unfinished in progress. You guys got to look at the strategy. If it says unfinished in progress, it's not going to be an official one. Yeah, so there's nothing really right there. Let's see. So yeah, we got about 3 minutes on here. Yeah, Randy said might as well hang out for the next 3 minutes for the daily and see. So even if this daily here was to come up, I wouldn't take it, Randy. And the reason for that's because the fundamentals are still very bullish. So even if that daily came up for a sell, I wouldn't take it myself. So if you guys want to take it, you guys can. Like I mentioned, you guys got to weigh the pros and cons on your own. I've already weighed my pros and cons. It's not one that I would take. Specific reasons are like, fundamentals are it's just way too high, right? You don't want to be trading against it. Because what could happen here is this can just be temporary pull and then swing back up to the upside. So yeah, this right here, even if it closed, I wouldn't take it. But if you guys do want to take it, just always keep an open mind, right? What I would recommend is if you guys do end up taking the sell there, when it moves into profit, move your stop loss into profit right away. Because the thing is, it can easily swing right back to the opposite at any moment. So you guys just want to keep that in mind and be careful when you guys are taking these specific trades that are against the trend, or not the trend, but the fundamentals. All right, guys. So I think that's it for today. If you guys have questions, feel free to email me or message me on Telegram. Telegram, you'll get a quicker response back. I still got to get through all the emails from the weekend. I've got Yeah, I got quite a bit. Yeah, I got a lot of these questions here. So I'm gonna have a lot of questions to get through. So if you guys do have questions, feel free to message me on Telegram or email me. But just keep in mind that if you guys do email me, give it at least a day or two for me to respond back. So I do have a lot of emails from the weekend. So if you guys have questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the next live session. And if you guys decide to trade for the rest of the day today, always remember to protect your positions whenever you can. I don't think today's gonna be too crazy because there's not much news. The only thing that's going to be a bit risky is, or not, actually, Biden's going to speak at 10. So Biden is speaking in about 2 hours. So you guys want to be careful when he speaks. So I would recommend not trading the rest of the day for New York session. But if you guys want to, just keep in mind that Biden is going to speak. So expect some movement to happen around 10 o'clock up until market close, which is around a little past noon. So if you guys have questions, reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow for the next live session.